guys? It's Blackwing 2040, and I'm back with a comic book review for you guys. I know I fell off the slope with the whole comic book reviews and everything. Stuff comes up, and plus I'm doing new stuff on the channel now. So let's, head back into our journey into the Blackest Night because we are not far behind. Well, we are only 3 storylines behind, or close. We're 3 storylines away until we start doing Blackest Night. And when I get to the Blackest Night, I'm going to have to make an update video on how that's going to work. So we are going to be looking at today Green Lantern Rage of the Red Lanterns. This is a really good one right here. Now, as always, I begin with the oath of that Pacific Corps. And since the storyline's Rage of the Red Lanterns, I'm a Red Lantern today. So get ready for the rage. Ready? And feel free to leave. Feel free to leave at any time. With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate. Oh, I'm angry. So angry. Let's begin. That's just my Red Lantern. Me being a Red Lantern. Alright, so anyway, in the midst of the Sinestro Corps War, we have the Green Lantern Corps fixing Coast City, Green Lanterns stopping whatever Sinestro Corps members they could find, spreading throughout the galaxy, and of course, in the Owen Science Cells, we see Hal Jordan and Sinestro having a little heart-to-heart conversation with each other. Oh, by the way, guys, turns out when I read this book, it was actually 2 story arcs in here. So you get two for the price. You get 2 for the price of 1 in here. So the first one doesn't really deal. It kind of does deal with it, but not really. But we're gonna talk about it anyhow, because I don't want to skip ahead. I don't want you guys to miss anything that I'm saying. So Sinestro and Hal Jordan are having a little heart-to-heart conversation, and Sinestro said he's telling Hal that he won. He wanted the Guardians to feel fear, which he already made them feel fear already, and he wanted the Green Lanterns to get new laws for them to use lethal force. His main goal was to have the Green Lanterns become the most feared people in the universe, and the Guardians did that by changing the laws in the Book of Oa, starting with the first law. They're allowed to use lethal force, and that's gonna play into this story arc, which is called the Alpha Lanterns, which is gonna be a new branch in the Green Lantern Corps. Think of them as like the higher superior officers in the GL Corps. Alright, so anyway, let's move over to the Lost Lanterns, because they're feeling the most pain because they lost their member Kihan to the Anti-Monitor. And you guys remember Kihan? He was a member. I think he was the leader of the Lost Lanterns, but not really. But Lyra, she's feeling the most pain because she was in love with Kihan, even though Kihan was married. She was his student. Kihan taught Lyra everything that she know, how to use the ring, how to become a Green Lantern, and now she's grieving her loss. And now the Guardians are allowing the Lost Lanterns to take Kihan's body to his family, so they could let him know of the bad news that happened. But when they get there, they see that Kihan's family got slaughtered, so they're already dead. And who did this crime, if you may ask? Well, none other than Sinestro Corps member Amin Sur, the son of Abin Sur. This was a surprise to me because I never knew Abin Sur had a son anyway. But it is what it is. He must be jealous that he never got to become a Green Lantern, so I guess becoming a Sinestro member made him happy. So anyway, he killed Kihan's family, and when he gets there, he's already saying, "I surrender." And even though he killed Kihan's family with a smile on his face, and then instead of them arresting Ammon, Lyra slices him in half with full force. And like the ring says, Green Lanterns are okay to use lethal force on a Sinestro Corps member. So as the ring leaves, it travels to Gotham City apparently because Sector 2814, that's where Earth is. The ring travels to Gotham City and travels all the way into Arkham Asylum, and it finds Scarecrow. And Scarecrow's just about to get the ring until Hal and John stopped him from putting that ring on his finger, which was good because, but we already know Sinestro is gonna get that ring again later on. So back on Oa, everything, it's a big mess going on Oa. Very, very big mess. So they're all pointing fingers at Lara for killing a Sinestro Corps member, and now everyone's having questions saying, but wait a minute, that you can't prove that because Lara has permission to use lethal force against a Sinestro Corps member. Plus, he was armed. But in case you didn't notice, he didn't do anything. So if she's murdering him, that is considered a crime. And so they all ask the Lost Lanterns, so what do you say, Lost Lanterns? Was this justice or was this murder? And just for a quick silence, they all say, murder. And Lara just goes into complete rage, like she's about to get mad. And so the Guardians show up, and they the Guardians show up, and now they what's the word? Suspend. There we go. They suspend Lara of her ring and her badge, and now she's put on trial. And then the Guardians approach all the members of the Lantern Corps, stating they're going to be having a new branch of the Corps called the Alpha Lanterns. And so one of the Lost Lanterns, Boudica, she was chosen to become a Lost Lantern, and she happily accepts. Other members are Chaselon. Who else do we got here? We have Green Man. We have Kraken, and that's pretty much it. So next is the the process of creating the Lost Lanterns, and this is their oath. Yeah, so apparently the Alpha Lanterns have an oath. In days of peace, in nights of war, obey the laws forevermore. Misconduct must be answered for. Swear us the chosen, the Alpha Corps. And so from then on, the Alpha Lanterns are born. And now we move on to Lara's trial, and this really isn't gonna be pretty. So now that Lara's put on trial, they show the complete footage of what happened and how she killed Amensur. Lara is pretty much silent throughout the entire trial because she knows what she did was right, and she feels like it was necessary for it to happen. But the Guardians still punish her, and then for that, she's banned from the Corps. And plus, they charge her for yelling at a superior officer because apparently an alpha lantern has more authority than a regular Green Lantern. But that's how it is. And so after that, the Guardians create a new law. It says lethal force has already been authorized, and now with the Alpha Lanterns, lethal force has been authorized against all enemies of the Green Lantern Corps. So that's the second law. And I know, sorry if I'm looking at this, I've forgotten everything that I was supposed to show you guys, but after that, Lara is banished, and Hanu is taking her to her home planet, where she will be for the rest of her life. But the ship comes under attack, and what attacks? A Red Lantern ring, and it says, Lara of Sector 112, you have great rage in your heart. Welcome to the Red Lantern Corps. And boom, she's a Red Lantern. And then we move on to the main focus of the story arc, Rage of the Red Lanterns. Here we begin with Atrocitus building the Red Lantern Corps, starting with himself, creating a Red Lantern ring, using his rage. And Atrocitus is a monster he is full of rage. Like, I love his character too. Like, he's like, ever since I watched Green Lantern the animated series, he's been a dope character. I thank Jeff Johns for creating that kind of character. Alright, so he begins reciting the oath, the Red Lantern oath, and from then on, the Red Lanterns are born. Now, back on Earth, Hal gets a notification stating that Sinestro is going to be taken to his homeworld of Korugar, where he will be executed. So apparently Hal is still having questions about this, if it's good news or bad news, because Sinestro trained Hal, and plus he still considers Sinestro a friend, even though they're arch enemies. And in his heart, he feels like it is the right thing for them to do, but he's still, you know, undecided of what they should do with Sinestro. Now, you guys remember the Guardian Scar, right? Well, if you want to know what she's been doing through this whole storyline, well, she's been scouring the universe looking for the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, and sure enough, she found it. Who knows where she found it? We'll never understand. But anyway, so the Corps is taking Sinestro to his home planet of Korrigar, and as soon on their way there, they get ambushed by the Red Lanterns. Well, technically, no, I'm wrong. They get ambushed by the Sinestro Corps first, and then the Red Lanterns show up. And so when it's it's an all-out color war out here. So the Red Lanterns attacked the Sinestro Corps and the Green Lanterns alike. So there's no chosen sides here. It's just every Lantern Corps for themselves. The Sinestro Corps are dead. Then Atrocitus shows up and takes Sinestro to his planet, which is the planet, not Ranks, Ismalt. There we go, Ismalt, which is actually a prison planet, and that was a planet where Atrocitus was held prisoner by Hal and Sinestro in their early days of the Lanterns. And so, with that being said, Atrocitus blasted every Green Lantern in his sight, flashing them with red fire of rage, and the fire is burning this. It's like really burning them. But to their surprise, here comes the first ever Blue Lantern history, Saint Walker. I know it's really bright, but that's Saint Walker. And this is good news because if you guys don't know, a Blue Lantern charges a Green Lantern's ring twice its maximum power. So think of a Blue Lantern as an unlimited source of power for a Green Lanterns, because if a Blue Lantern is in the presence, no, if a Green Lantern is in the presence of a Blue Lantern, they get a supercharged power boost. That's what it is. So Saint Walker was able to cool down the fires of the Green Lanterns that were filled with rage, and with that, their powers boosted to like past its maximum. So after Saint Walker calmed them down, I'm just gonna call him Walker. Walker takes Hal to the planet Odom, where we reunite with Ganthet, because we last time I showed you guys, Ganthet and Sade were creating a new corps for themselves, and they created the Blue Lantern Corps. And here they're entering their newest member, Brother Worf. Yes, I guess every member of the Blue Lantern Corps gets, signification. Like if it's a male, they're gonna be called brother, and if it's a female, they're gonna be called sister. So you have Worf, you have Saint Walker. Saint is not really his first name, but that's really his name, Saint Walker. So as Hal reunites with Ganthet and tells them what the Guardians have been doing, and if it's really bad that they're doing it, Ganthet tells Hal that his main purpose of why he had Walker bring him to Odom was that he wants Hal to be the leader of the Blue Lanterns, but he doesn't want that to happen. So on their way, Hal and Walker travel to the planet Ismalt to rescue Sinestro, because that's what Ganthet told him to do. And I guess Hal doesn't like that idea because Sinestro is a person, he needs to pay for his crimes. And to be honest, I feel like Sinestro should pay for his crime anyway. So Saint Walker is telling him don't fly far because he's going to lose the power boost that he has. Hal is so fed up with this that he goes to Ismalt on his own to go rescue Sinestro. So he flies to Sinestro, to Ismalt, and he gets ambushed by the Red Lanterns, knowing darn well that wasn't gonna go according to plan, because when you got an army of Red Lanterns that's attacking you, there's nothing you can do. You're done for. So Hal gets tied up, as well as Sinestro, but then the Sinestro Corps shows up and rescues. They came to rescue their master, Sinestro, and their members tell Sinestro that Mongol has been taking over the Sinestro Corps, and Sinestro says, "I'm aware of Mongol's actions. He will be dealt with." So Mongol's gonna get what is coming to him, because remember what happened in the Green Lantern Corps Ring Quest storyline? Mongol has been killing Sinestro Corps members and have been taking their rings, and he's been claiming himself to be the newest member of the Sinestro Corps. So Sinestro is gonna get Mongol, and he's gonna get him real hard. So the Blue Lanterns show up to rescue Hal, and while Hal is fighting the Red Lanterns, he finds Lara, who is still a Red Lantern, but she was able to calm down, and so he can be able to rescue her. And as soon as she's about to calm down, Sinestro let me show you. Sinestro kills her right in front of Hal's face, and Hal's like, "Why did you do that?" And then he just starts beating Sinestro brutally, and all that rage in his heart is building up. It draws the attention of a red ring, and as soon as that happens, Hal Jordan becomes a Red Lantern. But it's short-lived though, sadly. I wish it was longer, but Hal Jordan as a Red Lantern, it is awesome. So anyway, Hal is busy trying to control himself. He's trying to balance out the rage and the will. But here's the thing though, Hal has the power to create constructs. And now that he's a Red Lantern, he created this electric chair construct, and Sinestro is tied to electric chair, and Hal's about to pull the lever. I'm like, oh snaps, this is getting good. This is getting good. And the Blue Lanterns are coming to try and calm him down, but his rage is too strong because Hal has a lot of rage in his heart. So the Blue Lanterns do what they need to do. Saint Walker takes off his blue ring and puts it on Hal. And right there, Hal becomes a Green Lantern and a Blue Lantern at the exact same time. So it's he's switching between hope and willpower. But it's hard for him to concentrate because he's wearing a green ring and he's wearing a blue ring at the same time. But that's how the storyline ends. Sinestro gets away, Atrocitus retreats. Sinestro travels back to Quard to plan for his next have plans for his next battle plan. That didn't even sound right. His next plans are to find Mongol and kill him, and plus rescue the missing members of the Sinestro Corps who are missing on the planet of Zamaron, because apparently female members of the Sinestro Corps have been kidnapped and been taken to Zamaron for conversion, where they're turning the Sinestro Corps members into Star Sapphires. So Sinestro has two things he needs to take care of. And while that's going on, Carol Ferris, who still has feelings for Hal, the Zamarons are able to see the love in Carol's heart, and they send a violet ring to her. So Carol becomes a Star Sapphire. And right there, that's where the story ends, you guys. I know I felt like I was blabbling on and on and on. I just wanted to give you every single detail that you guys needed. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story arc. Stay tuned for the next one, which will be Green Lantern Corps Sins of the Star Sapphire. I didn't read this one. I never read this one. But it's going to be interesting to find out what happens. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And tell me if you guys read the story arc, tell me what did you love about it the most. And as always, I am vengeance. I am darkness. I am Blackwing. Stay golden.